Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the first of three more prediction shows this week. We're going down the cards. We've done the main events on Monday. We're going for the Dalton Smith versus Walid Ouizza card first of all. We'll go Ellie Scotney versus Mea Motu. It's a unified... Well, Motu's bringing in the IBO, isn't she? Ellie Scotney's IBF and WBO and Ring Magazine champion. Yeah. So a lot of trinkets on the line, Liam, shall we say, but not the biggest fight of all time. Both guys undefeated. Ellie Scotney coming in 9-0, 0 knockouts. Mea Motu coming in 20-0, 8 knockouts. Power advantage to the Kiwi. Skill advantage definitely to Ellie Scotney in this one. Boys, any thoughts on the matchup first and foremost? Anything other than a Scotney routine win?
Yeah, I think you've pretty much said exactly what a majority of people feel. I did a short prediction video over on my channel yesterday, and I said something very similar. Yes, Motu is 20-0, I think.
20-0.
20-0, yeah. There's no names on her record of any great shakes. You know, she's a world champion. We won't say how we feel about don't feel about the IBO, but look, it's slowly but surely becoming sort of a lower tier world title, similar to having an interim maybe. It gets you in the mix, doesn't it? Gets you a ranking in other governing bodies, maybe a top 50. But look, she's a world champion. She's travelling over from New Zealand.
Don't tell Adam Nazim that.
She's travelling over from New Zealand. She hasn't come here to make up the numbers, but unfortunately, she's coming up against a girl that is, for me, just better than her in everything that she does. The power, footwork, movement, and I think she's special. You know, I said yesterday, and when we spoke about, I'm not going to say she's a generational talent, but she's definitely one of the best female super bantamweights / bantamweights there are for me. Even though she's 9-0, she's had less than half the fights, but there's a reason for that. Elite amateur, she's turned over. For me, it's just, if it were 3-minute rounds, I'd say she'd get a stoppage, but I think it's going to be a unanimous decision, but fairly comfortably 8-2, 7-3, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, look, Mea Motu is interesting. So she picked up this IBO strap in 2023 and fought twice last year, but in 2 8-rounders. She didn't defend her belt last year, which was how that's allowed to happen. I don't know.
It shows you the quality of opponent, doesn't it?
Well, Shannon O'Connell, who we know when she fought Ebony Bridges over here on a Leeds card, was who she beat inside 3 rounds in her last fight. But yeah, it's an interesting one. And I mean, you talk about the IBO, it's starting to be seen as more of a fringe belt. I mean, Shane McGuigan, who's Scotney's trainer, I watched something today, him talk about Adam Nazim, and he said, look, I'm not going to go around calling Adam Nazim a full world champion if he wins this fight. Talk about Nazim's fight next week, but we know what the IBO belt can do for rankings. So it's starting to play a bit more of a role, which is how, I mean, she's the IBF mandatory as well. So that's how Mea Motu's got this fight. She's got it as a mandatory. The fact she has a fringe belt on the line is just a part of it. But she's 20-0 in padded. She's never fought outside of Australia or New Zealand before this fight. So she's never left that part of the world. Limited opposition. And the fact she was allowed to fight twice last year without putting a fringe world title
shows you what that belt's worth, really, doesn't it?
And honestly, look, Ellie Scotney, IBF, this is her third defense. She picked up the WBO in her last fight, which was April last year. And by her own admission, she's had a frustrating 9 months of hearing she's going to have an opponent and then the fight falling through or shows not coming through like Matchroom had planned, etc., etc. So she's not been injured. She's been in the gym solidly since last summer, and she's been waiting for this date, building towards it. And similar to what Jay said, I'm not going to call her a generational talent, but she is a very special fighter within the bantamweight, super bantamweight divisions. I mean, she wins this. The Mexican girl whose name I'm not going to try and pronounce that holds the WBC title. That's the route to go down, pick up another belt, and then I think the WBA is showing as vacant on their website. So if they can attach that to the fight with the Mexican girl for the WBC, there's an undisputed shot there. And that's the route she's going down. Every question she's been asked, she's answered. Yes, you can look at her record and say no stoppages on there. But again, 2-minute rounds, she boxes in such a way that she doesn't need to push for a stoppage because she's got such a dominant boxing style that she doesn't need to ever accelerate herself through the gears. I think if Motu asks questions of her on Saturday, we may see her moving through the gears, looking for a stoppage if she needs to pull it out, but she hasn't had to show it yet, has she? And in terms of prediction, similar to Jay, I went on my show 7-3 to Ellie Scotney, so I stick with around there 7-3, 8-2, comfortable enough, but she may have a few moments where things don't all go her way.
Yeah.
Is it Mikado, the other champion, or something like that? Mikado?
I'm now going to double check it because it's.
I had a look last night. I think there's a WBC Mikado. I think she's called something like that.
Just while Liam looks, we've got Drink More Water in the house. Thanks very much for tuning in, my friend. Ellie going to put on a masterclass. Motu is crude, straight ahead fighter. Yes, you'll find the angles, Ellie for sure. Ellie Scotney's world class, Motu is fringe. That's probably a fair assessment. That Drink More Water for sure. Yeah, I'm in agreement with both. I don't really know how you can not pick Ellie Scotney unanimous decision on this one. It's kind of just like it's there. You know, I wouldn't want to think what the odds are on it, but I can't think you get too much value in a UD for Scotney.
Yeah,
no,
Mikado's got the WBC belt. WBA looks like it's vacant. So if they can somehow, it'll be easy enough.
It's Mikado, yeah.
Yeah, it's Mikado WBC champion, 24-3 she is.
That the name you couldn't pronounce?
I'll stay off box rec in the future and we can just flat
it out now.
We're screwed if there's any Thais or Malaysians on the card.
Google Translate, mate, and then just like phonetically pronounce it all week. I'll be fine by fight night.
Yeah. Penny for Liam's thoughts, having to pronounce that if Scotney gets through on Saturday. Oh dear. Right, 3 Ellie Scotney unanimous decisions for us. I'm sure the rest of the world is picking that as well. So not too much insight coming from that one, but we'll be there. We'll be watching on Saturday night. We're coming back for my pick of the weekend. It's either that or Pacheco Nelson, but Conor Walker challenging Harry Scarf for the British and Commonwealth welterweight championships. I think this is going to be a barn burner, so we'll be back for that instantly. Lloyd Hernandez in the house. I think it's 55-45, but the odds are insane. Look, if you see that, Lloyd, then, you know, fire away, my friend. I see it as probably a 95-5, but that's just a difference of opinion. But, you know, Lloyd does know his stuff, and he's always getting sneaky little winners. So, yeah, all the best to you on that one, mate. But yeah, we'll see you shortly for Scarf versus Walker. Thanks to Jay and Liam for joining me as always. Hang on a minute before I go. Drink More Water saying, okay. I actually thought it'd be.
Don't sound so underwhelmed. Drink More Water said, oh, all right, yeah. See you later, lads.
He says, I said about Ellie decision. He said, do you know what? I thought it'd be like more odds on even than that, to be fair. Like I thought it'd be like 1 to 10.
Just over evens, that really, isn't it? Like 1.8.
It's nearly 1 to 3, isn't it? But it's not too bad actually. I thought it'd be higher than that. But look, anyone can get hurt, you know, whether it's men's or women's boxing. So we'll see. But yeah, should be